Your grandfather had more testosterone at 60 than you do at 30. That is not an insult. That is a clinical measurement taken across 3 generations of men, published in peer-reviewed journals, and it does not lie. Since the early 1970s, average testosterone levels in men have dropped by nearly 50%, not because men age differently, not because the reference range has changed, because something in the modern world is systematically shutting down the most fundamental biological engine in the male body. And the most dangerous part, most men feel it every single day: the fatigue, the fog, the slow disappearance of drive, and they call it stress, they call it aging, they call it life. It is not life, it is a crash. And today we are going to show you exactly what is causing it, what it is doing to your body, and what actually works to stop it. Let's get one thing straight before we go any further. Testosterone is not the aggression hormone. That is a headline written by someone who never read the study. Testosterone is the operating system of the male body. Every major system runs on it, and when it drops, everything drops with it. Here is what testosterone actually controls: muscle protein synthesis, bone density, red blood cell production, spatial cognition, verbal memory, emotional regulation, libido, erectile function, motivation, energy metabolism, the willingness to take risks and compete. Last one matters more than people think. Studies show that men with higher testosterone levels demonstrate greater persistence on difficult cognitive tasks, not aggression, persistence. Think of it this way: your body is a flagship smartphone, powerful processor, high-resolution display, premium hardware across the board. Testosterone is the firmware, the invisible code that tells every component what to do, when to do it, and how hard to push. Without the firmware, the hardware does not disappear. The screen is still there, the processor is still there, but nothing responds the way it should. Apps crash, performance lags. The battery drains twice as fast for half the output. You are walking around with premium hardware running corrupted firmware, and nobody flagged the update. Now let's talk numbers. The clinical reference range for total testosterone sits between 300 and 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. That range is wide by design because human biology varies. But here is what the data actually shows. The average American man today tests somewhere between 270 and 400, which means a significant portion of the male population is either at the floor of normal or already below it, and their doctors look at the number, see it inside the reference range, and tell them everything is fine. Everything is not fine. Being at 310 when your genetic potential is 750 is not fine. It is a system running at 40% capacity and being told to perform at 100. Here is where it stops being about you personally and starts being about something much larger and much harder to ignore. In 2007, the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism published a landmark study tracking testosterone levels in American men across 3 decades. The finding was clean and brutal. Average testosterone levels declined by approximately 1% per year starting in the 1980s. Not in sick men, not in obese men. In the general population, healthy men, getting weaker every year on a hormonal level without a single visible symptom that would send them to a doctor. Then came the Danish cohort data. Researchers compared testosterone levels in men of the same age across different generations. A man born in 1940 and tested at age 60 had measurably higher testosterone than a man born in 1960 tested at the same age. Same age, different era, different hormonal reality. The decline was not about aging. It was about when you were born, the world you were born into. Think about what that actually means. Imagine every generation of men receiving a Wi-Fi signal at birth. Your grandfather got 4 bars. Your father got 3. You got 2, and you have spent your entire life thinking 2 bars is just how Wi-Fi works. You have never seen 4. You do not know what 4 feels like. You have normalized a handicap so completely that it no longer registers as a handicap. It registers as personality. It registers as just being tired, just being unmotivated, just being you. The downstream numbers make it impossible to look away. Male infertility has doubled in the last 40 years. Testosterone-associated depression in men under 40 has tripled. Obesity rates among men have increased by over 300% since 1975. These are not separate epidemics. They are one epidemic with one hormonal fingerprint running through all of them. and almost nobody is connecting the dots. Now we get to the mechanism, not the symptoms, not the statistics. 5 killers, all of them operating simultaneously, all of them hiding in plain sight. Your body runs on a shared biochemical resource called pregnenolone. It is the molecular raw material from which your body manufactures both cortisol and testosterone. Here is the problem. Cortisol gets priority, always. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes perfect sense. If a predator is chasing you, reproduction is irrelevant. Survival wins the budget every time. But your body cannot distinguish between a lion and a deadline, between physical danger and a passive-aggressive email from your manager at 11 p.m. Every time your stress response activates, pregnenolone gets redirected. Cortisol production goes up, testosterone production goes down. It is like running Spotify and navigation simultaneously on a phone with a dying battery. One of them is getting killed, and your biology has already decided which one survives. Chronic stress does not just reduce testosterone acutely. It restructures the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. Prolonged cortisol elevation suppresses LH secretion from the pituitary. Less LH means less signal reaching the testes. Less signal means less output. This one is non-negotiable. Approximately 80% of your daily testosterone is synthesized during sleep, specifically during deep slow-wave sleep and REM cycles, not during rest. A 2011 study from the University of Chicago took healthy young men and restricted their sleep to 5 hours per night for 1 week. Testosterone levels dropped by 10 to 15%. To put that in perspective, that is the hormonal equivalent of aging 10 to 15 years in 7 days. 1 week of bad sleep, 10 years of hormonal aging. Your endocrine system runs a night flight. The cargo is testosterone. The runway opens at approximately 10 p.m. and the most critical production window runs until 2 a.m. Every night you stay up past midnight, the flight gets canceled. The cargo does not arrive. Catch-up sleep restores alertness. It does not restore hormonal output. Xenoestrogens are synthetic chemical compounds that mimic estrogen at the molecular level. It is in your kitchen, your bathroom, your grocery bag. The most studied are bisphenol A, found in plastic containers and the lining of canned food. Phthalates, found in personal care products. Think of a virus that learned to wear a security uniform. It walks up to the checkpoint looking exactly like an authorized molecule. Your receptors do not scan for origin, they scan for shape. The door opens. Men with higher urinary BPA concentrations show measurably lower total testosterone and higher rates of sexual dysfunction. Visceral fat, the fat that accumulates deep in the abdominal cavity around your organs, is metabolically active tissue. It contains an enzyme called aromatase. An aromatase does one specific thing. It converts testosterone into estrogen. Visceral fat is a double agent. It is registered in your body as your own tissue. It receives resources, blood supply, energy, and it uses those resources to work against you. The more visceral fat you carry, the more aromatase activity you have. You produce testosterone. Your own body intercepts it and transforms it into the opposing signal. It is a self-reinforcing loop with no natural exit point. Testosterone is not a salary, it is a performance bonus. Your endocrine system does not produce it on a fixed schedule regardless of what you do. It produces it in response to demand, specifically in response to physical stress placed on muscle tissue and the skeletal system. Resistance training, particularly compound movements involving large muscle groups, triggers a hormonal cascade. Mechanical tension on muscle fibers sends a signal up through the nervous system to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus releases GnRH. The pituitary responds with LH. The testes receive the signal and ramp up testosterone synthesis. The system is demand-driven. No demand, no signal, no output. A sedentary lifestyle down-regulates androgen receptor sensitivity over time, meaning even the testosterone you do produce becomes less effective at doing its job. Here is the problem with low testosterone as a diagnosis. It does not announce itself. It does not arrive with a clear signal, a sharp pain, a number on a scale that suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. It arrives the way a browser slows down on aging hardware, until one day you realize every single thing takes longer than it used to. Chronic fatigue without a clear cause, not the fatigue that comes after a hard week, the the fatigue that is simply there when you wake up. Testosterone plays a direct role in mitochondrial function and cellular energy production. When levels drop, your cells become less efficient at generating ATP. You are not lazy. Your cellular power grid is running on reduced voltage. Loss of muscle mass despite consistent training. You are in the gym. You are eating enough protein, but the muscle is not responding the way it used to. You are sending the construction crew, but the building permits never arrive. Brain fog and declining cognitive sharpness. Testosterone receptors are densely distributed throughout the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. Low testosterone does not make you less intelligent. It makes your brain run at reduced bandwidth. Thoughts that used to come quickly now load slowly. Decisions that used to feel clear now feel muddy. You are not losing your mind. You are running a high-performance processor at 40% clock speed. Declining libido and sexual function. This one gets dismissed most frequently as psychological, but testosterone is the primary biochemical driver of male sexual desire. When levels fall below a threshold, libido does not just decrease. It can disappear almost entirely, and no amount of mindset work corrects a biochemical deficit. Mood changes, irritability, apathy, low-grade depression. Testosterone has direct effects on serotonin and dopamine receptor sensitivity. The depression associated with low testosterone has a specific texture. It is not sadness, it is flatness, a reduction in the amplitude of everything. Highs get lower, motivation evaporates. The things that used to matter stop mattering. And because it happens slowly, most men adapt to the new baseline without ever questioning whether the baseline itself is wrong. You do not guess. You test. The minimum panel you need is this: total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, LH, estradiol, and prolactin. Total testosterone alone is not enough. SHBG binds testosterone and makes it biologically unavailable. You can have a total testosterone of 600 and a free testosterone so low that your body is functionally operating at 250. LH tells you whether the problem is in the signal or in the production. Estradiol tells you whether conversion is occurring. This panel costs less than $100 at most independent labs. It takes one blood draw, and it gives you a complete picture of what is actually happening inside your endocrine system. Everything up to this point has been diagnosis. Now we talk about intervention. And before we go any further, one rule: we are not selling you anything. No supplements, no programs, no affiliate links. What follows is the evidence-based protocol that the research actually supports, ranked by impact. This is not a lifestyle suggestion. This is the highest ROI intervention available to you without a prescription. If you fix nothing else, fix this first. The target is 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep with a consistent schedule. But the timing matters as much as the duration. Testosterone production is tied to circadian rhythm. The peak synthesis window opens around 10 p.m. and runs through approximately 2 a.m. This is not flexible. Consistent sleep and wake time 7 days a week. No exceptions on weekends. Room temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Complete darkness. No screens for 60 minutes before bed. And if you drink alcohol, understand that even moderate consumption fragments sleep architecture and measurably reduces testosterone output the following day. 3 to 4 sessions per week. Compound movements: squat, deadlift, press, row. They are the movements that recruit the largest volume of muscle tissue simultaneously and generate the strongest hormonal signaling cascade in response. Consistent resistance training over 12 weeks has been shown to increase baseline testosterone levels by 15 to 25% in previously sedentary men. Overtraining elevates cortisol chronically and suppresses testosterone through the same pregnenolone competition mechanism. 45 to 60 minutes per session. Heavy compound work. Adequate rest between sets. Ashwagandha root extract at 300 to 600 milligrams daily has shown in multiple randomized controlled trials to reduce cortisol by 20 to 30% and increase testosterone by 15 to 20% in men under chronic stress. Cold exposure, 2 to 3 minutes in water below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, trains the nervous system to recover from stress more efficiently over time. Men in environments of purposeful challenge and genuine social bonding show measurably higher baseline testosterone than your nervous system is reading the room. Zinc. It is essential for testosterone synthesis at the enzymatic level. Deficiency directly impairs Leydig cell function. The research-supported supplemental dose for deficient men is 25 to 45 milligrams of zinc bisglycinate daily. Vitamin D receptors are present in Leydig cells. Men supplementing with 3,332 IU of vitamin D daily showed testosterone increases of approximately 25% compared to placebo. Testosterone is a steroid hormone. Its molecular backbone is cholesterol. Men on very low-fat diets consistently show lower testosterone than men consuming adequate dietary fat. Replace plastic food containers with glass or stainless steel. Stop heating food in plastic. Filter your drinking water. Municipal water supplies in most developed countries contain measurable concentrations of pharmaceutical estrogens and agricultural runoff. Anything containing synthetic fragrance, parabens, or phthalates is a potential xenoestrogen source applied directly to your skin daily. Exhaust the protocol first. Test again. Then make the decision with complete information. Your body did not break spontaneously. It was broken systematically. By sleep debt, by chronic stress, by chemical interference, by physical inactivity. The good news is that none of these are permanent. The system is responsive. Remove the interference, provide the inputs, and the hardware performs the way it was built to perform. Hit subscribe for your next dose of Logic Serum, because your body has been keeping secrets from you for years. We are just getting started.